seen it before. So.
Hey everybody, we just jumped on in. Lord, I am up. I didn't even run the thing. Hold on, it popped on up. What is going on, everybody? Listen, we are getting it together out here on this patio. I am doing my best to pull it together. How is everybody doing this evening? Let's see, we got comments already. Hey, Joy, how are you? Joy is on. Hold on, we getting set up. Listen, this is all my fault because I am completely and totally discombobulated right now. And where did it go? Oh, hold on. And we trying to get it together. Lord have mercy. How's everybody doing this evening? I tell you the truth. Can y'all hear me good? Somebody let me know that y'all can hear me because we are all over the place out here. And I can't. Can y'all hear me? Okay, Joy says yes, you can hear me. Hey, Stallion. Hey, baby, how are you? Y'all, welcome to part 2 of, damn it, I'm lost. The Angry Black Woman, the male perspective. Listen, y'all would not believe what I have gone through to get set up and ready. My cameras didn't want to act right at first. So we finally had to just say, fuck it, and go down to one camera. As y'all can see, I just got out of the shower. My hair soaking wet. Like, I had so many things going on that led up to this show that I'm just like, oh my goodness.
But we here.
Yes, but we here. We here, and that's all that matters. And I'm looking for, let me see. Yes, I'm waiting on JC to join us. Yeah, he's supposed to be joining us, and he's gonna sign on, which then I'm gonna need my headset, which I got headsets for y'all. Listen, we just gonna talk. Fuck it. I'm tired. I'm tired. I had to go get waxed. I went and got waxed. Then I rushed home to try to get set up and get done, and things just did not work the way I wanted them to work. But that's okay. I'm here now, and so we are going to finish the male perspective on the angry black woman because the laptop died. It is now fully charged this time, so we don't have to worry about it dying. But I hate that it did die because we had some great conversation going with the fellas on the women, workplace and all of that, and everybody was being so upfront and honest about um, how you guys felt in dealing with black women in the workplace and both personal. And I actually have had several conversations with a few ladies after the show that were like, you know what? I really listened to what the fellas was saying. I took their advice. I applied their advice. So I'm really excited about letting you guys speak again. So where do we even want to pick up from? Now I got a question. I got a question. I got a question.
Jump it off.
I got a question for you. Because this was one of the questions that was brought to me. Remember when we were talking about in the workplace and how, Eric, you admitted that a lot of times the men are like, they don't want to, they don't want to be bothered, or they don't want to.
What happens is they do it to our black women, but they do it to our black men also. But they really take it out on our black women because these guys do not want in no way a female, especially a black woman, telling them what to do. It is documented. I've been in those meetings. I've managed those people. It's an issue. So yeah, it's a huge issue in corporate America that they really don't address. I mean, it's addressed on certain, in certain instances.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a shame that it can't just be okay, just a policy where we're not just gonna have it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. But okay, and I know I agree it does happen to both the black male and the black female,
right.
From the corporate standpoint.
But we're talking about the
black female.
Absolutely.
And what I really want to drill down to is that in the workplace, that interaction between the black male and the black female. Because how did the title "Angry Black" come about? Oh, I'll come back. I'll talk about that stallion. This is actually the third part of the show. But yeah. Or are you talking about come about? Period.
She angry.
Who? She did it in caps. Yeah. But
I had people hit me up saying the same thing.
Yeah, where people. Okay. So yeah, she's talking about where it came from. Period. Okay. So here's my thing though, because, and I'm gonna be honest, as a black female in the workplace, I can, and I won't say accept because accept is not the proper word. I tend to not get as upset when I get that angry black woman response from a white person or a white male. I guess because in my mindset, I already feel like they view me in that manner, and they really don't have, not all of them have my best interest at heart.
Absolutely. But
it hits home more when you get that negativity from the black male, because in our eyes, y'all supposed to protect us. You're supposed to help us. You're supposed to do those things.
We talk about being a protector.
Right. And so then when you do that to me in the workplace, that's gonna make me even more angry or upset, because I'm looking at you as, okay, the plight of the black woman, the plight of the black man and what we go through. So why are you treating me the way that they're treating me? That's what really gets me.
I get it. I read a survey on self-esteem. I have 2 little girls, and I'm just trying to who has the best self-esteem? Is it from birth, or do you develop it? But everybody's born with the same self-esteem. So what happens is, they say in the Western world, the things that happen to a female lowers their self-esteem. All the stuff that happens at work, the stuff that happens at school, all that stuff lowers you guys' self-esteem. So they said, if a male or let's say a black male, black female are applying for a job, the male, if he knows 50% of what the job is about, he'll apply. The female, she's going to make sure she knows 100% of everything before she's applied.
Yes, because we have to have more.
Yeah. Absolutely. So she's going to be the best person on the job. She's good. The female is going to be better at what she does than the male. But what happens is the male constantly tears her down. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's and that's what's happening in the workplace, like every day. So that's I don't know how
Okay.
to fix that.
Okay. I wanna touch on something you just said
Hmm.
about the self-esteem
Absolutely.
of the black female,
Yeah.
and this happens a lot.
Hmm.
That and hey, Violetta, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, from Honduras. Oh Lord, we're getting people from all over now. Welcome to Red Wine Conversations. I want to touch back on that, on the self-esteem and beating down the black woman.
Yep.
I find that often. Um, let me back up. Let me back up. First, let me say this. I feel like as a black woman, we have been taught that our role is to nurture, support, and take care of our family. And we're supposed to take care of home, take care of the kids, take care of the man while he goes out and he works and he provides and he takes care of them. If she works, that's fine. But that's the traditional thing.
Yeah.
And so we value, let me say this again, fellas, I want y'all to hear it. We value what our black men think about us. And so when you do those things, and you're right, because men do that all the time, they want to tear a black woman down as opposed to building her up. That plays into why she becomes angry, why she becomes bitter, why she becomes so upset. But why do they do that? What is the purpose of attempting to tear her down? Like, what does he feel like the man is going to gain? Now, don't get me wrong, because I mean we're on the female subject, because I know women who do that to men as well.
Right.
But speaking from the black female perspective, like, why is that? Why do black men feel like it's necessary to tear down the black woman? I don't get that. Are we seeing this competition, a threat, or what is it?
I don't think that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't think it's necessarily seen as a threat,
Right.
but I think it's all about power.
It is.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm showing my dominance over you. So I mean,
And it's not just the black woman.
no,
It's not just-
Yeah, but that's the topic
Yeah,
of our
the people at top want to show power over everything. It's just that traditionally, like you said, with the black family structure, traditionally the work structure is men on top, women secretaries. So now all of a sudden you got women that are supervisors, managers. They have their own teams, so they're gonna throw stones. They throw stones at men too, and just know that. But with women, they're really, really gonna throw stones. So
because they don't want that woman outshining them.
Absolutely.
It's a male dominated society, so therefore
I can get outshined by Eric, but if I get outshined by Karen, my job may be a jeopardy. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
So that's what you deal with in the workplace. So you guys aren't the only one that's taking BS.
Okay.
Yeah, we
So
all
my
take it.
question to you guys is, how do we change that dynamic in the workplace? Because honestly, and I hate using honestly the angry black woman, but that's the title that society has given to us. So that's the title that I'm going to use.
Right.
But
You
that,
didn't make it up.
yeah, but that adds to the issue with the black woman, because we feel like we're not valued. And I mean, even salary wise, we do the same job and not get paid the same that a man gets, but yet we know more about the job than the man does.
Yeah.
So I again, also it goes back to that earlier statement I made in the very first show: cocky versus confident. Because a lot of times as black women, we want to go in and we want to prove to you that I can do it and I can do it better than you.
100%. You guys have the knowledge. Compared to us, 50% we'll try it out. Just because we're a man, they'll put us into place.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's like I didn't make that up.
Oh no, I agree. I agree with you.
Study they did.
I agree with you, but that's an issue for Black women in the workplace. And I think we need to stop getting. We have to figure out, and I can say this from, like I said, being a person who was labeled as that angry Black woman all my life, even in the workplace. I had to learn how to communicate with other people. Okay? As a Black woman, sometimes, and I said this before, we can be dismissive. Yes, baby, yes. Sally said Black women get torn down for their strengths at times.
Yep.
Absolutely. But here's what I did learn. Sometimes when I thought I was just showing my strength and showing my knowledge, I came off as, how come you idiots don't know? You mean to tell me that y'all didn't know?
And now it look like you trying to run the whole
right, and it comes off as if I'm talking down to them.
And you're smarter than that.
Right. And I had a manager ask me one time, she literally said to me, why are you looking at me like that? And I was like, looking at you like what? She said, looking at me like you think I'm stupid. And then I had to catch myself, because really in my mind, I was thinking, how are you stupid?
Did think you stupid.
What's that got to do with you?
But I had to learn to control that. Violetta made a comment. Is it actually a cultural thing? That's how we raise our kids. It happens to Latin American women as well. That's why we have to empower new generations. 100%. It happens to.
Yeah.
It is starting to branch out to all women of color.
Yeah.
And I have to say of color because, and I hate to say the Karens because I'm a Karen, but the Karens kind of get treated a little differently because they have that privilege. And I mean, anybody who says white privilege does not exist is a lie. It 100% does exist. It is a white privilege type of thing. But she's absolutely right that women of color, no matter their ethnic background, deal with it on a regular basis.
Right.
Especially in the workplace. And we're always seeing, even when we just simply try to express our opinion, and that's what was going on with me and the manager. Like, she wanted me to do something that I kept saying to her, but the medical records don't support that. I can't write a letter justifying this service to the insurance company when the medical records and the documentation do not support what you're trying to tell me to do.
Right.
We need to build this a different way. And so she's looking at me like, you're going to do what I said because I'm the manager.
Well, in corporate America, there's a lot of politics.
It is a lot of politics. It is a lot of politics.
I mean, what was that? One of the politicians was on the Joe Madison show, and they were showing clips of it where he was like, "Yeah, I lie. You know, I lie. If I get backed in a corner," he said, "I lie. Absolutely, I lie."
See?
And it's like, okay, you're gonna admit it. You know, it ain't like we didn't know it, but appreciate you for letting.
But this is what I want you fellas to do. How can talk to the brothers out there? How can we help? Because we're gonna get to the personal. We still stuck on professional right now, but we're gonna get to the personal, which is a whole nother level. But how do we change that dynamic in the workplace between that male, female? What can you tell the fellas to say, hey?
What I can tell the males are, treat her like she's your sister. Set the, everybody in corporate America is trying to climb the mountain to get to the top. So they're pushing people down, and they're, it's like the crab in the bucket type of mentality. But, show some respect to your queen, the Black queen, and just have her back. You know what I'm saying? You get into a situation, instead of going with the majority, or going with what you think everybody wants to go with, hey, have some gumption about yourself, show some balls, and take your queen's side. You know what I'm saying? You gotta you're in it. People don't realize they a lot of times they kind of lump us in there together. They think that we're a team.
Oh, there
Even when
is.
we're not.
Yeah, there is JC. He just popped in. Yes, he just popped in.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see if I can bring him in.
But I would say I don't work in corporate America.
Right.
Hey, JC, can you hear me?
Sisters, how y'all doing? Yes, yes. How y'all doing?
Hey, you know.
I'm good, darling. How are you?
Calm down on
I'm good.
and all that. Treat your sister like you would treat your sister.
Yeah.
100%. And you know what? You guys can open that because I wasn't sure if he was gonna make it. Go ahead and pull those headsets out so we can hear JC. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear. Hey, darling, glad you was able to join the show. Let me pull back out so everybody can see everybody. Welcome, JC. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate that because I really want to get your perspective as well as a black male on this angry black female situation.
Man, thank y'all so much. I'm sorry I'm late. I had a call. As soon as I was logging on, I had a call I had to jump on and take. But, man, it's a blessing to be here, man. Thank you so much, KO. My brother Rick, I see you. God bless you. Eric,
yeah,
how you
Rick,
feeling?
Put your hands on. He's saying hey to you. Yeah. Listen, we being ghetto-fied over here on Red Wine Conversations tonight. Like, I had so many technical difficulties coming on tonight, but that's okay. We're on. But I want to go to Stallion's question. I mean, not question, comment. I still got it up. The new black woman's strength does not compare to the old school black women. And sometimes, times are different. I 100% agree with you because black women have had to change. We had to change. Society changed. And we had to change with society. And so therefore we do things a little bit. He hadn't said anything. That's why you couldn't hear.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all hear me now? All right.
Can y'all hear me now? Okay. They
Okay.
can hear you now.
Slick
But
Rick,
yeah.
what's up, bro? How you feeling, man?
We're bad. You doing all right?
Yes, sir. Big E, how you doing? Good to meet you, bro. Heard great things, bro.
All right.
Yes. Did you catch the previous show, Jack? Well, you were on when my laptop died. Yes.
Yeah.
You were making comments. But yeah, and actually, Stallion, I actually did a show on the new modern male. I still need to go back and do my show on the new modern female. But let me tell y'all this. I agree things. Thank you, Monique. Hey, everybody's tuning in. I agree that women have changed and men have changed.
Yeah, no doubt.
But in order for us to make a change in society, in the route that we are currently going, because nowadays, these people, this new modern female and this new modern male, they're fearless. Like I said, they're fearless. They'll do whatever.
And they're in it for themselves.
Yes, they're all about themselves. But they have no direction, no guidance. They're all over the place. And so in order for us to get anywhere in society, we got to come back to some of our traditional ways. I ain't saying we got to go all the way back old school, but some of those traditional ways we've got to get back to.
I agree.
And I think where it starts at is, like you said, the role of the modern black woman has changed. It's key. The black woman has always been strong. And the thing that has changed is now she's strong, but she feels she doesn't need a man. Back then, there were women that were strong, but they knew they still needed a man at home. Nowadays, these strong black women feel they don't need a man. They don't need to listen to a man. And they're raising a generation where they don't have to listen to anybody. They expect to be given everything. And when you try to tell them something, oh, you can't tell me that my mama said this. My mama did this, so I ain't got to listen to you. So it's hard for us as black men to be black men. And even when we come, it's hard for us to go love a black woman nowadays because y'all so strong. The black woman has become too strong to be loved nowadays. They too independent and has made everything on their own. So now they feel like, I don't need you. And it's not that, because if you have a real black man, a strong black man, he does not need you, he wants you. And when you have that man in your life, you add value to him just like he adds value to you. So everything that you was working so hard for, you don't have to work that hard for. You can keep working hard, but you don't have to work that hard to pay bills for it. Because as a strong black man, that's what I do. You don't have to work so hard to work and pay bills and do overtime to send the kids to school. No, that's what I do because I'm a strong black man that provides and protects for my home. We have been Go ahead.
Are they feeling complete though at the end of the day?
Can I speak on that as that black woman who is happy to be single?
Okay.
Can I speak on that?
Absolutely.
It has absolutely nothing to do with black women or women, period, feeling like they don't need a man. It has to do with, remember we just talked about how men talk down, the confidence, tearing down. It's a way to be dominant over her. We have been beat down so much that we had no choice but to become strong and to take care of ourselves and to be able to provide for ourselves, because that black man or that strong man, and we won't even put a color on it, right. That strong man is not always there and available to do so. Right. So for myself, as an example, I don't need a man. Do I want one? I would love to have one. Right. I would love to have somebody that I, can come home to, or he come home to me, and we have that relationship. But do I need you? No. There's a difference between a want and a need. I want one to become a need. That makes sense. I want you to become a need in my life. I want you to get to the point where I feel like I can't do or I can't breathe without you. But those things that he was mentioning, like paying my bills and doing all of those different things, it's a whole new world. Right. Women are making our own money. We're taking care of our own selves now. So that is not, and that no longer is an enticement for us to look for a man now. So it's not that we feel like we don't want one. Those old traditional things of, like he was just saying, it's the man's job to take care of the household. It's the man's job to provide. He doesn't want her to have to go out and work hard because that's his job. I agree. 100% agree. That is the man's role. That's what he's supposed to do. But what am I supposed to do as a woman if I don't have that man? Am I supposed to sit back and not do for myself and wait for him to come along? And then when he does come and he sees that I'm strong and I'm able to take care of myself, then it's a negative because he feels like I don't need him. So that's the female perspective. I get how y'all see it. And you be like, oh, she don't need a man. She got this. She got her own. She making good money. She can do this. Hell, she building houses and shit. She don't need a man. But that's not true. I want one. But I don't necessarily need you for all of those traditional things that I agree that's the man's role. I have no problem with it. And if you become a part of my life, I have no issues hey, that's your job. You are the provider. You are the head of the household. You are the leader. I have no issues submitting to that. But at the same time, you can't come into my world and tear down what I've built. You can't make me feel like I'm less of a woman just because I'm strong and I'm confident and I'm able to take care of myself. And then you want to look down on me because I'm able to do that. That's not fair to me as a woman. Not fair to me at all. But I agree. Go ahead, JC.
Because and that's what I'm saying. What we do is we bring value to each other. And I don't want you to stop working. I don't ever want I want you to keep getting it. But like I said, what I bring to you is whatever you were expending, whatever you were needing, whatever you were lacking. That's what I'm here for. Whatever that extra is that's going to complete you. Like,
oh, I agree. Yes.
And as a man, I need you to complete me, because what do I need you for would be my question. If you bring no value to me, if I can't have an intellectual conversation with you, then I don't need you to stay. I can rent you for a little while and then send you on your way. But if we're trying to build together and be something, if you want me to take care of you, then baby, what value do we bring to each other? Because it's going to be some stuff you can show me that I didn't know. It's going to be some stuff that I can show you didn't know. Oh, baby, you building houses? That's what's up. But what we gonna do is we gonna buy some stock in Home Depot, because we buy a lot of stuff from there, right? So did you buy stock? Oh, you didn't know about that. You teach me about these building houses, and I'm gonna teach you about the stock market. We finna make this money and grow our empire together as kings and queens, and we gonna love each other, and that's how we gonna do. What happens now is, go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
We got to work together, and everybody wants us to stay in competition. But I don't want to be in competition at home. I want us to be building together at home.
Absolutely.
I agree with you. It is a competition.
And most of the guys I know, they're not shying away from strong black women. And, I mean, you need to build and create a lot of the times these days. There's a lot going on.
Let me say this,
okay.
Eric. Yes, complimenting each other is extremely important. Let me say this. I hear what you're saying, but as someone who is seen as that strong, confident black woman, I deal with it on a regular basis. On a regular basis of men telling me, "Oh, you don't need no man." Or they'll look at me and say, without even having a conversation.
That's a little.
Yeah.
You don't need a man.
You don't need him.
Right.
That ain't a man you need.
And I always say, if you feel intimidated by me for who I am, that's a personal problem. I can't change who I am. But that is seen. I get that. So much, because you can't miss my confidence. You can't miss my security in who I am. It reads all over me, and so that is an issue with me with dating. In that, a lot of times I don't get approached because most men will look at me and think, "She don't need no man. Ain't nothing I can provide for her. Ain't nothing I can do for her." But what I'm looking for, as JC said, is that man that compliments me. Just because I don't need you financially doesn't mean that I don't need you. Just because I can lay my own floor doesn't mean that I don't need you. It's those type of things that get overlooked. And then we get beat down about it because we're strong. How many times have y'all seen women make those posts that say, a man can't handle a strong, confident woman? They got issues with it. I see it all the time.
Well, those men obviously have issues. I mean,
there's a lot of men with issues.
You are meeting men that don't have a problem with it, right?
I
may be like a married man like me.
I have met a few. Yeah, okay. I have met a few, but the majority of we ain't talking about them handful. We ain't talking about the minority. We're talking about the majority. And then with this new market, go ahead.
And KO, you got to remember, you in the minority too, not the majority.
I am definitely in the minority. I can agree with you on that.
So we dealing with a different crowd, just like you dealing with a different crowd. We got to grow.
Here's something that I say, because I can agree. There's a difference between her being that strong, confident woman and her being that condescending, overbearing, want to be in control type of woman. I get that. That's a big difference. And I've seen it so many times. And I think I said that the last time about those women who are always, I want that man to jump when I say jump, and he better do this when I say do this, and roll over when I say roll over. And then when he does, then, oh, he weak. And he a weak man. And let me go find somebody strong.
Yeah, somebody
so I get it. I do get it. And I see from the male perspective of how that's a turn on. I 100%. And typically when I run into those women and they make that statement to me, I have plenty of girlfriends who make that statement. Oh, they just don't like me because I'm strong and he can't handle my bluntness, and he can. Well, there's a difference between being rude
and being
strong.
Right.
And disrespectful.
And being strong.
Yes, 100%. There's a big difference between strong and disrespectful. And anytime, and this goes back to, are you ready for a relationship? When the other pastor said, what do men look for? Trust and respect.
That's it.
Trust and respect. Yes. And you give him that trust and that respect, and he's good. I feel crazy holding on to this headset, but my hair is soaking wet. I hope I don't catch a cold out here, y'all. But there's a major difference. And so I always try to talk to women when I recognize that and I see that. Like, you want him, you always fussing about he's not being a man and you want him to be a man. But you got to step back and take your man draws off and let him be the man. He can't be the man if you're busy trying to be the man. And that's what most men think when they look at me. They think that, oh, if I get into a relationship with her, she gonna want to be the man and want to be in control. When in honesty and reality, I can't wait for that man to come through to say, you know what? You ain't got to worry about it. I got you. I got you. Don't worry about that. I got you. Oh, yes, and Zombie said, and peace. Men want trust, peace, and respect. 100%. I can agree with that. But I need to know how we change that. We talked about from a professional standpoint, and then JC came in and he got us on a personal level. Right. I'm saying to you, ladies, we do have to stop that. And I will tell you an example, and she's gonna be like, well, my kids don't always listen to the show, and not one of her friends might be listening. And I got to talk to my one of my daughters. I ain't gonna say one of my daughters about this. Everything, and this is just my perspective when I watch her interact with her male partner. Everything is a competition. She has to prove that she was right, and and a lot of times he just let her have. And I notice he'll just let her have her way. Yep. And he'd be like, "Well, I said such and such and such and such," and she'd be like, "No. I was right. I was right. Why do you always have to be right? What is it about that competition?" And I noticed that women do that a lot. They want to compete with the man. And in a relationship, it shouldn't be a competition.
I mentioned that last time.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a competition.
In relationships, it's like their defense mechanism goes straight to they go straight to defense mode. They don't want to be not right. And it's like, no matter what we do, no matter what we do, what we say, they want to end up on top, right? It's almost like they're collecting points against us. And
I can agree with you because women will keep score.
Yeah, it's like they got a score sheet.
It becomes a battle over power. 100%.
2 months ago, I got.
And they justify. They justify being wrong with what you did. Like you said, 2 months ago you did this, and last year you did that. Well, I forgot about that. I threw that page out the record book.
And I said this before, women are emotional, and we're all about how we feel. It's all about how we feel in that moment. Right. And when you are not acknowledging her emotions,
That
that's
leads
what
to the anger.
that leads to the anger. And that leads to the communication problem. Yep. Because we've mentioned that before several times. Yep. Men and women communicate differently, completely and totally different. Yep. Men are about logic. And if we're busy talking about how we feel, I don't care nothing about you running no numbers to me and you trying to talk about, okay, but it was this, and this. Right. I don't care nothing about this. It's about how I feel. And I felt like you talked down to me. And I felt like, and even though you saying, no, that's not what happened. Right. I was just explaining to you. Right. And so now when you say, oh, now you want to talk to me like I'm a child, like that's how it goes. Right. And we get into our emotions and then we end up saying things because we want you to get emotional and be heard.
How do we fix that?
That's a good question. And I'm going to tell you, and I've said it before. You know how to fix it? I'm going to tell you how to fix it. And I've said this so many times. And I'm going to say this one more time, fellas, especially when it comes to the woman that she mad. Stop trying to get her to understand your logic. She right now is in the moment of how she feels. And the way you shut it down is to address how she's feeling. Okay, baby, I understand what happened made you upset. I get it. How can we fix it? Tell me, how do we, because you have to address her feelings.
And last time, remember you told me you can't tell her she's right. So
don't tell her if she's wrong, don't tell her.
You walking a thin
line. Don't tell her if she's wrong, she's wrong.
Right.
If you agree that she's right, then you can never change that.
Yep.
But what you first have to do is address how she's feeling in the moment, because women are emotional. And if you keep trying to throw logic on top of emotion, you're not going to get anywhere.
You're going to lose.
You're going to lose every time.
You don't know how much this has actually helped me. When we talked about it the very first time, I'm able to just smooth it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once you address how she feels, because that's what she's really upset about, is how the whole situation made her feel. Whether she was right or wrong,
that don't matter.
How she feels. Once you address how she feels,
we moved on. We trying to watch the second half of the game.
See, and you can't see, and that leads to another angle. Isn't that right, lady? Don't ignore. Do not ignore.
Please don't do that, because you will not enjoy the second half of that game.
Yes, you're not going to watch that game.
Enjoy the second half of that game.
What you mean? You just don't turn off and act like you didn't hear what I said.
I'm the world's worst. Once I say what I have to say, I'm normally done.
Yeah.
But if she didn't get her understanding, she's not.
Yeah, Rick.
And and what she didn't understand is why you don't understand how she felt in the moment. Right. Which is why I'm saying to you, and like Rick said, he learned that lesson. Address how she's feeling. Yeah. Once you address how she's feeling and you acknowledge her feelings, she's then ready to communicate with you. She's then ready to listen, because she feels like that you understand and you're addressing how she felt in that moment. If you don't do that, you're not going to get anywhere in that conversation.
And we have to, as men, when you're dealing with a woman who is in her feelings and she's real emotional, we cannot get in our emotions, because that's how an argument will start. A fight gonna start. We have to stay in the control and let her. And like we said, even if she's wrong, you can't just be like, "Oh man, yeah, you was dead wrong." No. You have to say, "Well, look here. Well, maybe you could have handled that situation like this, or you didn't have to cuss the girl out at work. You could have done it this way." We can't be emotional trying to get back to the second half of that game here to hurry up and get it over with. Nah, we're gonna have to take some time and be like, yeah, well, okay, baby, maybe it could have been this way. Maybe it could have been that. I see where you coming from and how you maybe it different. But when we just be emotional with them and they start elevating their voices and we start elevating our voices, it's going to end up bad for a bad situation.
And it does. And let me say this too, going back to the topic of the angry black woman. The black man helps to promote that. Black men, how often have you heard them label black women, oh, all black women crazy, all black women loud, all black women, they mad, they want to fight.
But aren't those the anti-black women men anyway, though?
But
They
here's
don't like black women.
but it doesn't matter. Here's the thing. Even if that is that one black man that says that, or that anti-black, he got the right. Everybody listening, and then everybody else want to chime in. Yes. Oh, she angry. Yes. All black women mad. All black women are angry. No, we're not. And like I said in my very first show, I get it. I get why black women are angry. I get the plight of the black woman. Nowadays, it's even harder for the black woman because we're raising kids by ourselves. We ain't got no choice but to go out there and fend for ourselves. Like the ratio, male to female ratio is really low. So we don't have a choice. We got to do what we got to do to survive.
Right. I got a question.
Yes.
We address relationship anger and workplace anger. What about public anger? Why do black women not acknowledge black men in public? If they never have seen them before in their lives. They don't really acknowledge us. Do you know what I'm talking about?
You're gonna have to elaborate on that a little bit.
I have to say I don't get that often.
Okay.
I got a big beard, so.
Oh, okay. All right, so I got several, but I'll make it short. I was walking into during Christmas time. I was walking into Walmart. A black woman there is supposed to greet everybody. I saw her greet like a white couple, Hispanic couple. Everybody came through. A couple black girls were before me. I came through. She looked at me and just turned her head. And I'm like, wow, I would like to have a nice day too. So I walked past her maybe 10, 15 steps, and I was like, let me go back and say something to her. And so I tapped on the shoulder from behind. I said, I would like to have a nice day too. She said, oh, I'm sorry. And I don't think it was necessarily on purpose. I just think that for some reason, they just don't look at us like that. They don't look at us. For instance, I jog in my neighborhood every day. And so I see cars as I'm jogging every single day. Every once in a while, you see a white lady wave, mostly. Good old white guy in his pickup truck or what's going on, give me a thumbs up or whatever. Never do black girls speak. Ever. They don't speak.
So do you think that they angry because of that? Because they don't speak? No, I'm asking the question. Why do you think you don't know why they don't speak?
I mean, am I the only one? Am I in this by myself?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I speak first to everybody. I speak to everybody. So even if you don't, I speak. Black, white, man, woman. I speak. So I don't.
If you don't, wait a minute. Hold on. You giving a bad. Hold on.
No.
If you don't speak to me, I don't speak to you.
No, if you don't speak to me, then I'll speak to you.
Oh,
if you want to be spoken to, don't wait for somebody to speak to you.
I'm not waiting on anybody.
But to be honest, she probably was in her feelings. I don't care. I speak to everybody. Hey, how you doing? It doesn't matter to me, black, red, orange, male, female. But that could have been something within her.
You might have reminded her of somebody.
Oh yeah, I get all the time.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. Because you say, and this goes back to, if you keep having the same experience with different people, the common denominator is you.
Mm.
So me just walking around.
Let me finish. Let me tell you why I say that. Because I used to say, men don't approach me. Men don't approach me. They see my confidence, my strength as a turnoff. They don't approach me. They don't speak to me. And they did. They look, but they didn't speak. But guess what I realized? It wasn't them. It was me. My whole demeanor says, don't speak to me. The way I carry myself said, don't speak to me. When I changed, like, and I use this as an example, when I still work at Vanderbilt.
But they can't be looking at all black guys the same. He's just another black guy. I won't speak to him.
It's not about them. It's about you. And is it that your demeanor, remember this is about true self-reflection.
Right.
Is it that maybe your demeanor is closed off and says, don't speak to me? Okay. And that's what she read when she saw you. Because I had to realize that that's what men read. Because when I would be at work and I would walk the halls, like every day, I would go in and get my miles, whether I was outside or in, I would walk the hall.
But you'd be focused on your miles.
When I tell you,
right.
them men, I'm about to call them Negroes. The fellas would be hanging in the hall, waiting on me to pass by, so they could look, but nobody ever spoke. Nobody spoke. They would watch me walk every day back and forth up and down that hall, but nobody ever spoke. And so I had to really I was like, why is that? Then I got to thinking about it. When I'm walking, my head is down. I ain't looking at nobody. I'm in my moment. I'm listening to my music. I'm doing all of these different things. I'm not even making eye contact with them. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to change. I'm going to do something different. Let me see. So I decided to start when I walk, head up, smile, and look like I'm open and I'm happy. When I changed and I started doing that, when I tell you them same men that was waiting in the hallway to see me walk by, right. Good morning, beautiful. How are you? Oh, you looking good today? Oh, you on your walk? Hey, I didn't see you yesterday. Right. They all started speaking. Gotcha. And I had to realize it's not that men don't want to approach me. I come off as unapproachable. I can be honest and say, I come off as unapproachable. People who know me be like, girl, no, you seem man cool. Right. But other folks who don't know me, I come off as unapproachable.
You have to, you got to have a welcoming spirit. Like, you have to be open. Because the first time I met KO and Rick.
I wasn't open. You didn't think I was approachable when you first met me?
Yeah.
Oh, you thought I was?
Yeah, because even though you were in your element, you still were free.
That's because I was in the gym. Yeah, you get them endorphins going. You in the gym.
Never were unapproachable to me either, though. You never were unapproachable to me.
But you wasn't interested in hollering at me either, was you?
I mean,
you married? What you mean? Oh,
unapproachable is high and by. You know?
I'm simply telling you.
I can't holler at the girl that's driving by. I just
here's the thing. Everybody is different.
Okay.
And so you're secure enough in yourself,
right,
that even if you thought I did look unapproachable, you'll be like, hey.
Yeah.
Because that's you.
Right.
But everybody ain't you. And so when I say this is something when I say ever since I become single, even hell before, men didn't approach me. Because I give off that matter of fact, I was out at Minerva's with a girlfriend of mine. These guys was at the table together. One guy came up, spoke to her, was like, hey, how you doing? And she was, so after we left, she was like, I thought his friend was going to come over and talk to you. I said, no, the friend already peeped me out and I already gave him that look like, don't come over here.
There you go.
So he already knew. And so she was like, dang.
Right.
So I realized that if I'm not smiling, because a lot of times, like I'm holding this thing, a lot of times I'm like this too, with my arms crossed. which says I'm not open. Don't come to me. So I had to realize that my body language, even though I'm not speaking, my body language speaks volumes to me. And they be like,
You know, I get it all the time. I used to not smile at all. Just wouldn't smile.
but you know what? And it used to irritate the fuck out of me because men would tell me all the time, smile. What you mad about? And I'd be like, I ain't mad. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I'd be like, but I'm not mad. But
Well, tell your face
to,
you ain't mad because
Yes.
your face say you're mad.
I had to learn to check my face. You're absolutely right. Because my face, I got resting bitch face.
Right.
There's no other way to put it. I got resting bitch face. And my body language says, don't come into my bubble. Like, I don't know you. If I don't know you, I don't want you in my bubble.
It makes sense.
And so I'm just saying that that's probably what she may have perceived from you.
Well, it's been a lot.
Yeah.
Not just one.
Yeah, and that's maybe what they perceive. That I mean, I didn't get that from you when I first met you.
Right.
But I'm different.
Right.
But if you're noticing that you get that a lot, that women don't speak, or they, it could be your body language. Body language is another form of communication that a lot of people miss and they forget about.
And you nobody really gets the opportunity to study their body language unless they're on red wine conversation.
Well, unless you pay attention. Like literally, I'm telling you, I did not even think about it.
Yeah.
My body language wasn't even in my thought process of why men don't approach me.
Right.
It was like my whole thing was because I used to do the same thing a lot of women say. Oh, they just see the strength and the confidence and they scared of a confident woman. Oh, well, okay, I'm just moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Not any time that I think your body language says don't approach you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of communication that a lot of times people don't think about. And body language is important.
Because if I see it like that, I won't approach you at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have to even watch that when like at work and I'm in a meeting and different stuff. I really have to watch it. Because if something is getting on my nerves and they irritate me, I'm sitting there arms crossed. My whole body language says y'all fools is stupid and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And so I have to be mindful of that.
We have to work on our
JC.
faces because I'm not good at my faces. You could say something that'd be real off the wall and you'll catch one of these real quick and my face will give me away all the time. And I had to learn to just get a poker face. And just no matter what somebody say or do, you just got to sit there and look at them and just say, that's what's up. Okay. And just call
Thank
it
you.
that.
Yeah, and Zombie he agreed. He was like, that does, play. It's fact. Yeah. It makes a big difference.
Now that you guys mentioned it, I can remember seeing Shannon Sharp and all those brothers on Sports Talk, how they catch themselves and they make themselves smile.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to seem intimidating and mean, angry, mad, black.
Literally have to tell myself to smile on a regular basis especially if I'm out. Mm-hmm. If I'm out, I have to say smile. I'm telling myself smile. Look friendly.
Right.
Silence is another way to say silence definitely. Yeah. I have to be mindful of it. But at the same time, and this goes back to the topic, a lot of times people make that assumption that I'm angry because my body language says I'm unapproachable. A lot of times women don't realize that they're giving that signal off.
Bad body language.
And when I say I was confused by it for years. Confused. I was that typical woman that said, oh, men were just intimidated. Y'all don't like a strong black woman. And my confidence showed. He just intimidated by my confidence. No. He just looked at me and my whole body language said, don't come over here and talk to me.
Right.
There you go.
Now, don't get me wrong, because there are some men don't give a fuck. Right. They're going to come and speak to you regardless. If they like what they see, they're going to come and speak.
Shaking you. Hey, girl.
Yeah,
they're
going to come and speak.
What your name is?
what did Zombie say? It's kind of like, what did he say? It's kind of like seeing a man who constantly looks down at the floor. A woman's smile, if approachable, like a man with his head up and shows. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because if I see a man and all he doing is looking at the floor and he can't make eye contact with me,
He can't be trusted.
yeah, yeah. I'm all about that
These,
eye contact.
Yeah.
these dog and women smell fear. I'm just saying that.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. I can agree with that. But back to those are that actually plays into a part of why black women are angry. Now I can agree part of that is on us because we need to learn our body language. And you know I'm all about accountability. This ain't about putting this all on the black man because the black female has to be accountable as well. And as I said in the first part of the show, I mean the first part, how long are we gonna hold on to things in the past? How long are we gonna keep torturing every new guy that comes along for what somebody else did to us in the past? In order for black women to stop being seen as angry, we've got to stop expressing ourselves as angry. But what happens a lot, and I have to say it happens a lot, is even when we're not angry, we're accused of being angry, which then makes us angry.
Mhm.
Because I get tired of telling people I'm not mad.
Right.
I'm just simply expressing how I feel. Why do you have to label it as me being angry? My kids do that to me. Even if my voice goes up an octave, Mama, what you mad about? Why are you angry? Why are you yelling? Girl, I'm not yelling. I'm not mad, but you pissing me off because you keep asking me that. Like I'm not mad. But we as a whole, as a black people, and well, women of color, period, as we talked with I said earlier, we've got to learn how to change that. And that's what this show is all about. First, it starts with us, ladies. If we want to stop being seen as the angry black woman or the angry Latino woman or Mexican or whatever your ethnicity, especially the Hispanics, the
Yeah, they
Latinos,
really have a
and the
bad-
black, they have really been grouped in with us black women. And that anger. In order for people to stop seeing us as angry, we got to stop expressing ourselves as angry.
Mm.
And you have to accept, and that's like accountability. Yes, accountability is the main thing. Love this strong word. Yes, everybody does not want to take accountability for themselves. It's easy to blame somebody else. It's easy to say black women are angry because of black men. Y'all having kids you don't take care of, you're doing this, you're doing that. But not all women are going through that. I didn't go through that. So then why am I angry?
Mhm.
But we can't keep holding on to excuses and pointing fingers at other people. We have to learn to point that finger back at ourselves. But at the same time, black men have to acknowledge y'all got to see where y'all do shit to make us angry. You can't sit there and say that you don't.
A lot of guys purposely do it
Yes,
because
yes,
Mhm.
yes,
because maybe they're in a situation where they're not being totally honest with you, and they may be
Mhm.
doing some things. So yeah, they throw you stuff, and they get you riled up.
but here, okay. So this is where I my response to that, because I hear that a lot. Excuse me, I'm trying not to let that come out, but it didn't want. I get that a lot. Here's the thing: I can't allow someone, and I can't. It was Zombie that mentioned peace. I'm the same way. Right now, I'm at peace, and I can't allow someone else to come into my world and tear down my peace that I have built for myself.
Right.
And I have run into those men who want to argue, that want to start a fight. It ain't just women that do that. There are men that do it too.
Absolutely.
And I'm always like, you take that somewhere else. That don't work here. I'm not into
There are
those
men that
toxic
have bad
relationships.
intentions, period.
Yeah, there
Right.
definitely are
Bad
some.
intentions.
Which leads to,
Yep.
again, why black women are so angry at the black man.
My thing, I found myself having to apologize for something that another man did.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, look, I'm sorry that what he done, that's not me.
I get it.
It's
And it's difficult when you are fighting an uphill battle over somebody else who has tore them down,
Yeah.
as we talked about earlier, about tearing down, destroying her confidence, trying to make her weak so that he can control and he can dominate her. All of those different things. They do it all the time.
Yeah.
And so then when she finally does get out from under that particular situation and get out of it, she's still holding that bitterness and that resentment.
Mhm.
And so then the next guy that comes along feels the brunt of that
Yep.
and has to pay for that,
Yep.
which is not right.
Right.
But see, then that comes to communication and letting her know. Again, remember I said address her feelings. Understand how you feel. I get it. But like you said, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but
I'm not again.
I'm trying to show you something different. And in order for me to show you something different, you have to allow me to do that. Because a lot of women nowadays, and let me tell you, especially those who have been hurt and been in bad situations, you come in having to earn her trust. And she gonna make you jump through those hoops to earn her trust. Because somebody else already tore that trust down.
Yeah.
And so she's looking for something. She's looking for the shoe to drop. She's looking, he can't be this good. Like, he can't be this good of a man. Something got to be wrong somewhere. And so she's gonna look for that problem. And if she can't find one, sometimes she'll even create a problem and run off a good man.
Absolutely.
Did y'all hear that,
whatever
ladies?
that-
I'm gonna say that again. Let me say that one more time. Because sometimes, based on what's happened in the past, they put that on the new guy and they'll run off a good man looking for those same problems that they had in the past man. Which goes back to my statement. You keep having the same problem with different men,
Mhm.
common denominator is you. Even for the men, you keep having the same problem with different women, the common denominator is you. And you have to take a step back and look at yourself. I get so tired when I hear women say, all men are like, all black men cheat, all black men do this, all men this, no. All the men you've dealt with have done that. And you might want to ask yourself why all the men that you've dealt with, you've had that problem. But don't be mad at me if I can't. I'm sorry. I can empathize with you, but I don't understand because I've never dealt with that. That's not a situation that I have. And I had a girl say that all the time. She was like, every man I've had, he cheated on me, and then he left me, and then what he want to do? He want to come back crawling. Why they always want to come back? Because they know that you'll take them. That simple question. They cheat and then they realize they missed. It ain't that they realize they missed a good thing that they had. They coming back to what they know is going to allow them to do what they want to do.
Doing what they doing.
You allowed me to do it before, and I'm gonna do it next.
Because other women ain't happy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As soon as that you run that one little test, she like, I'm out.
Yep.
So,
I agree with you, Zombie. He says, I believe she wasn't ready for the next relationship if seeing me reminds you of your last trust. Yes, I agree. Listen, I just went through this with um, a friend of mine that is near and dear to me. She's like a daughter to me, and she just jumped from one relationship. She just got out of a bad situation, and immediately is already in another situation. You haven't even given yourself time to heal from what
From
you
the
just went through.
She just wants something.
A lot of times, listen, and I'm gonna say this, y'all, and we way over an hour. We've been talking, and I'm gonna say this, and this is something that men miss because y'all don't get this. Y'all are never told this. Women are treated like we're lepers. That's the word I'm gonna use. We're lepers. We don't have a man. You are nothing without a man. If you
I
don't
say
have
that
a
used to
man,
be.
you are. What you say, JC?
It used to be that, but not no more.
Yeah.
That's
No.
basically about women.
Yeah. But that's what society says. Do you know how
Mm-hmm.
often you see a woman? You got a boyfriend? You married? Well, why you ain't got a boyfriend? Well, why you ain't in a relationship? Well, why you ain't seeing somebody? We are defined by whether or not we have a man, which makes women go out there and do any and everything to try to find one and to get one. And he may not be the best choice, but she going out to find one so she can say that she got a
I got
man,
it.
so the society can
Okay.
quit looking down on her for not having one. I deal with it on a daily basis. Daily basis. Well, why you ain't got no man? Well, why you ain't in a relationship? I dealt with it at Casa.
Yeah.
And I finally had to hurt dude's feelings.
Yeah,
like,
you told me.
I'm not interested. Like,
Right.
why? Like, and he just kept, well, what you scared of? Not scared of anything. I'm not looking for a relationship right now. I'm good. Oh no, God meant for you to be to have a man and such and such and such and such, and he want to start preaching me. Well, why you?
He probably was drunk.
He was drunk.
He
He
was.
was. But at the same time, I'm trying to be polite and say, I'm not interested. I'm good. Then he had to turn me into the angry black woman because I finally had to just hurt his feelings and be like, look, you're not the one. I'm not interested.
Right.
Stop asking. I'm not interested in you. But those are the things that because we get frowned on if you don't have a man. How often have you seen?
How do we change that?
Wait a minute, let me read Zombie's comment. Those women who say all black men are the same ones who made the bed that they complain about. I agree. Those same women will give the worst advice and tips to the young women looking to find love and happiness. Absolutely 100% agree with you on that. Misery loves company. Misery loves company, and they will tear down.
But it seems like to me you need to have a conversation with these people that constantly asking you, just like the husband and the wife or the boyfriend and girlfriend, like, look here, we've come to the conclusion that I don't have a man. You don't have to ask me that. I'm on my own pace. I do my own thing. I don't need you to bring that up every week about my social stuff. Nobody's asking him about his wife. Nobody's asking him about his girlfriend. And nobody's asking her about her baby daddies. You know what I'm saying? So we need to have that conversation. This is what women need to do, not you. I'm just saying, women in whole, they just need to have the conversation. And I get it, grandma. You know, grandma wants to say.
Yeah, I'm a grandma.
But you know, like
I keep telling my kids I'm ready for a nut.
That's what I'm saying. Before you got to that point of having kids, you can understand your parents wanting you to reproduce. I get that. Yeah. But I'm saying like the bystanders, the people at work that's getting on your nerves every day, or the aunts and uncles and all that.
I honestly
you need to shut them down.
I will say this. I honestly don't. It irritated me that night when I was out, and every time that they do that this particular person does that to me, and I always say, but here's what I have to realize: I don't allow it to anger me or to get me upset because I have no control over their perception.
Mhm.
If that's your perception, I can understand it and I can respect it. But what I also expect from you is for you to respect my stance.
Absolutely.
In that I'm not interested. Now, me being the type of person that I am, if you can't respect my stance, then I leave you alone. I limit my contact with you. I handle you with a long, a long hand. Yeah, that's how I do because I realize you can't change somebody. I can express to you how I feel, but I can't change your perspective. The only person that can change your perspective is you. I can tell you how I feel about it. If you choose not to accept it, that's on you. Then now the decision is for me to decide how I want to deal with you. If I don't want to continue to keep having that same conversation with you, then I limit my contact with you because I'm all about my peace and then my bubble. But I said that because that is something that women struggle with. And I used this once before, and I think I used this on the Modern Male. I can't even remember which show it was. And I used Oprah as an example.
Yep.
That woman is a billionaire.
Yep.
Billionaire.
Not married.
But the main thing people focus on, why Stedman didn't marry her. Why she never got
They
married.
didn't live their life together.
Right.
And they worried about why he didn't give her a ring.
Exactly. So even though she's a billionaire, extremely successful in all avenues that she has been in the industry, people still define her by the fact that she doesn't have a man and she never got married. That's how women are looked at. I am looked at, even though I got my own house and I can pay my own bills and I can do all of those things, I am still defined by the fact that I don't have a man. That's the first thing people think about. Mm-hmm. Oh, you single? Well, why you ain't got no man? Well, why do I have to have one? Because you're supposed to. Who said I was supposed to?
Things have changed.
It's hard for people to fathom. It's hard for people to fathom a woman being successful without having a man around to quote unquote tell her how to be successful. So when they see a woman out there doing it on their own, they want to know, well, where your man at? Well, you got to get one, or you need one. Yeah. And watch this. It's the same for a man. It's the same for a man. When they see a successful man.
Zombie's comment. He said men get asked social questions too. It's mostly about y'all success, and I can agree with that. Men are looked at. What's your job? How much money you making? If
how you not get a job like that?
Yes. If you not in a certain industry or making a certain amount of money or have a certain type of job, they look at you like, oh,
that's the first thing they ask. What you do for a living?
Right.
Yep.
I had a woman tell me, remember I said that when I was in Vegas and the lady said that she was like, I don't know what the problem is. I keep getting approached by all these blue collar men. Well, what's wrong with a good blue collar man?
Exactly.
What's wrong with a good hard working man? I'm confused on what your issue is. Right. She one of them that what's his name kept saying you be talking about. You think you supposed to get them high value or whatever he want to call them. But what's wrong with a good blue collar, hard working man? I could care less.
I'm a blue collar man, and I do.
Man,
ain't nothing right. Hey, I have no issues with it. Matter of fact, I prefer me a good, hard working blue collar man.
At the end of the day, if you blue collar or white collar, you still doing a whole lot of different things to make money. You know what I mean?
Here's my thing, and I get we have gone all over the place. Here's my thing about that. Because women like to focus on money when it comes to a man. How much he makes, how much he got, and what he's doing. And then she ain't got no money herself.
Who to say he didn't have an inheritance?
Right. Well, here's my thing. This is my stance, because I've even had this happen to me before, where I met somebody and I was dating, and I'd tell my friends, they'd be like, well, where he work? Oh, he works such and such. Ooh.
Yeah.
He ain't making what you making. Why you
So?
sure you want? Who cares? To me, I could care less about how much money a man makes. You want to know what's important to me? Are you able to take care of yourself on your current salary?
There you go.
Are you living above your means? Are you making ends? You know what I'm saying? Can you support yourself? Because I got me.
Right.
Can you got you?
Right.
That's all I need to know. If you got you and I got me,
Good.
when we
good.
come together, we good.
Right.
But if you struggling, yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that because I don't know if I want to join your struggle because I'm not struggling. Then that's a whole nother story. But as long as you take it, if you can afford, I don't care if you make $10 an hour. If where you living and what you got, you can afford to live exactly.
Yeah.
If you can afford to live on them $10 an hour, who am I to tell you that you are a lower category person because all you make is $10 an hour?
Yep.
Yeah, you probably living better than me off them $10 an hour. I don't know. But people make that judgment about and I especially black men. And I can't listen. But fellas, let me say this. With that being said, about I don't care how much money he makes. And we gotta get out. We're an hour and 21 minutes and we're gonna get off here. Here is one of my biggest pet peeves. And ladies, all you ladies who are tuning in and listening, we are going to do the female perspective. If you're interested in being on the show, please send me a message and let me know because I want you ladies to be able to voice your opinion and your perspective on all of this. But let me jump back. Here's one of my biggest pet peeves that men do. Don't talk to me about money because my idea of money and your idea of money may not be the same. And one of the biggest turnoffs to me is if a man comes at me talking about money and he want to brag about how much money he makes and what he's doing. Now then it becomes an issue. Because if you come at me bragging about how much money and you making good money and you say, oh, I'm making $13 and that's good money to you and you bragging to me and I'm looking at you like $13. Okay.
That's what's up.
That's a turnoff. That's a turnoff to me. You coming at me because you don't know what my idea of money is. You don't know what I think is a good salary. And you don't know what I make. So I may be, when you come at me bragging about your 13, and I'm like, I literally had that happen to me. Guy been on the job 20 years. You been at the same job for 20 years, and now you making us $14 an hour, and you want to come and brag to me about how well you doing. Boy, if you don't move on.
But in his mind, he came from a long way.
In his mind.
Right.
But in my mind, no.
That's nothing he should be putting out.
Exactly. But my thing is, why are you even having a conversation? Why are we even talking about money?
Right.
I don't care.
That shows low self-esteem.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That to me says you're used to using money to get a woman. And I'm not that type. You can't buy me. That's what turns me off. The $13, $14 an hour is not what turned me off. What turned me off is the fact that you felt the need to bring that up to me because do you think I look like the type that's what I'm looking for? Like those are the things that go through my head when a man approaches me. Like, what, you think you can buy me? Like that's not who I am. Why are you even? You want to get to know me? Why are you even talking about your salary or your income?
Right. What they got to do with?
What does it? Right.
Having a conversation.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But in the male defense. Men's defense, because that's my perspective and that's how I feel. But in y'all's defense, y'all do. Rick just said it. That's what he get asked all the time. What you do? What you do for it? And so therefore, I think they feel like that's what other women are looking. That's what women are looking for. So they approach you from the money side, standpoint,
Right.
which is a turn off to me because I'm not looking for you for money. I got money. I'm good. What else you got to offer me? That's where I'm at. What else you got? What else you got?
We,
Okay. What
we,
about some good conversation? What else
there
you
we
got?
go.
Don't brag to me about the money. What else can you come to me at? But anyway, nobody should be discussing money right off the bat. Absolutely. But you women, Terry, let me say this, and all that, you're absolutely right. Nobody should be discussing money right off the bat. But nowadays, this new modern woman is all about what a man can do for her. And so money does play a big factor. But
Mhm.
we are an hour and 30 minutes in, y'all. We still got some folks listening. I appreciate y'all tuning in. And we having my laptop did not die this time. So we were able to make it through the show. JC, thank you so much. Reverend JC, you know
Man,
what?
thank y'all.
I'm so proud of you. I am so happy of
Thank
you for you got to church. Listen, y'all, you actually have to tune in. What time does Coffee with Clark? What time do you come on in the morning?
5:15 in the morning. It's a quick, about 10-minute word of encouragement, man, to help y'all get through the day, man. This world too hard. And some folks don't make it to church on Sunday, man. So I just got a quick word for you, man. Help everybody get through the day, man. Y'all just keep encouraging each other, man. This has been a blessing to me, man. Man, I pray for everybody, man. I know it's going to be great success. This thing is headed to the top, I'm telling y'all, because what y'all doing is really helping people. And I'm from the bottom of my heart. Since I met E, I'm telling you, they had that welcoming spirit when I walked in the studio and I seen them, and we just been brothers and sisters since. And that's just no, hey man, that's so whatever I can do for.
I won't, like, I love when I see people or I hear someone tells me, you know what, I hadn't thought about it. I was listening to your show, and I what you said made sense. I hadn't thought about it that way. When Mo kept saying, she was like, tell the fellas I was listening, and I applied, the things that I heard. So I love that when I hear people say that. That encouragement makes me want to come on and do this more, because it's not about, like, and I say this all the time, it's not about my perspective.
Right.
It's about opening your mind. Like, I'm not saying I'm right.
Right.
Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about each other's perspectives, and share those perspectives without feeling like we got to tear the other person down or argue about it, or somebody's got to be right. It ain't about right and wrong. It's about, can you open up your mind to the possibility that there may be some truth in my perspective? Can you take a step back and actually see that what I'm saying to you may have some validity to it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this show is about. Stepping back and looking at yourself and go, okay, she might got a point. I do walk with my head down, and I am got my arms crossed. I may give off that body language.
Yeah, I agree. I probably do.
Yeah.
I probably most definitely do. So,
and that's why she didn't speak, because she felt like your body language said, don't say good morning to me. Don't even talk to me.
And that's like you said, I'm sitting there looking at her like, she gonna speak. She'll speak. And she looking at me like, hey, you must be crazy.
Right.
Right. What's wrong with him?
Right. Oh, thank you, Terry. Terry said, I have learned so much from this show. And that is, and I'm going to get off here, y'all. That is all that I want from this show, is for people to walk away looking at things from a different perspective and being open to others. That instead, because we all quick to shut, I used to be that type. Somebody try to tell me something about myself. Like, you can't tell me about me. I know me. And I would shut them down. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. But then when I started taking a step back and listening, when I had that, let me tell you, when I had that lady when I was working in the prison, and my co-worker, she's the older lady, and she said to me, because I was to blame it on everybody. Everywhere I went, I had an issue, and it was always everybody else's fault. And she said, Karen, if you keep having the same problem everywhere you go, and that's where I got that from. She was like, the common denominator is you. Can you really say it's them? And when she got me to thinking about that, and now in every situation I think that way. Like, okay, let me take a step back and look at myself. Let me take a step back and see me from that other person's perspective. Can I see it? Can I understand why they view me the way they view me? And I had to say, yeah, I can see it. But the only person that can change their perspective is me. And I can't expect their perspective to change overnight. And I'm going to say that one more time. You cannot expect that person's perspective of you to change overnight. I still battle with it. I'm like, damn, can't they see I've changed? But I try not to get frustrated over it because right now they're still stuck in that old perspective of Kim. And they can't see new Kim. But it's up to me to continue to show them new Kim. I can't get upset and revert back.
You gotta repair, what you've got to start. So.
Absolutely.
You gotta repair.
I have to accept and be accountable for the fact that I created the perception that they have of me. I added to it. And now the only person who can change it is me. But okay, we're about to get off of here. It's been an hour and 30 minutes. I thank you, JC, again. Please, y'all tune in to Coffee with Clark. I love early in the morning. You get you a good little worship to start your day. And I always try to catch it. Sometimes I miss you, but I always go back and rewatch it if I miss you. Yeah, because I'm always up. I'm always up early. So I always try to catch you in the morning. Because what I like about you, JC, is that I don't feel like you're preaching at me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You talking to me like we talking, face to face, as opposed to, some preachers, you feel like we're not even connected because I feel like all you're doing is preaching at me and you really don't comprehend.
Good, you bad.
Right. And you're not really comprehending my struggle. Yeah.
That
but
ain't
I don't
me.
come off. Yeah, you don't come off like that. Like,
it makes the word funny.
Yes.
Like,
yes. You apply it to everyday life, and I can really, Coffee with Clark. Tune in, Terry. I can really appreciate the word that you're giving early in the morning because I can apply it to what I got going on in my life at that particular time. So that's what I love about Coffee with Clark. Love it. So please keep that going. More blessings, and I'm so happy for you in the church. I hope everything goes well with that. That's so amazing. But we are going to get off of here, people. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Red Wine Conversations. We have been talking and talking. I hope y'all can take away. And remember, ladies, send me a message if you're interested in coming on to the female perspective. That's going to be, that's going to be probably the 8th. Because I'm out of here, headed to Cancun. On a flight Monday to Cancun. I'm so ready to go. So next Friday, I will be in Cancun, so there won't be a show. But on the 8th, I may do that female perspective. Who knows? Depends on how I feel when I get back. But all right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Have a good one.